It was raining, the kind of slow, heavy rain that makes a city feel like it's holding its breath. People rushed past in shiny coats and umbrellas, their eyes on the pavement, trying to avoid puddles and each other. Inside a sleek glass office building on the corner of Lexington and 41st Street in Manhattan, the lobby buzzed with its usual hum phones ringing, security checking badges, the faint scent of roasted coffee drifting from the corner kiosk. That's when she walked in. A little girl, no more than 6 or 7, soaked from head to toe. Her yellow raincoat was 2 sizes too big and clung to her legs as she walked. Her dark hair stuck to her cheeks, and she held a small plastic lunchbox in one hand, the kind with cartoon dogs on it. Her other hand trembled slightly as she stepped forward. She didn't speak, didn't cry, just kept walking straight toward the front desk. Marlene, the receptionist, looked up from her screen and blinked. "Sweetheart, are you lost?" The girl nodded slowly, then whispered, "I need to talk to the boss. The biggest boss. Please." Security glanced over. Marlene stood up. "Honey, you mean Mr. Thorne?" The girl's eyes didn't waver. "Yes, I came to tell him something. It's important." Upstairs, 50 floors above the city, Elliot Thorne sat in his corner office staring at a presentation that had taken 3 departments 2 weeks to prepare. The numbers blurred on the screen. He leaned back, rubbed his temple. It had been a long year. Since his wife passed, things just hadn't clicked back into place. His assistant buzzed through. "Mr. Thorne, there's a little girl downstairs asking to speak with you." He scoffed. "What?" "She walked in off the street. She's alone. Says it's urgent." He sighed. "Call CPS. She asked for you by name. Elliot Post." A moment later, the elevator doors dinged open. The little girl stood silently in front of him, now holding a damp note in her tiny fingers. He frowned, kneeling slowly. "Hi there, what's your name?" She didn't answer right away. Then softly, "Katie." "And where's your mom or dad?" "I just need you to read this," she said, holding out the note. It was written in shaky cursive, clearly by an adult. "Dear Mr. Thorne, you don't know me, but I worked for your company 5 years ago. I was a night janitor at your Stamford branch. I never met you, but once you left a card on my cleaning cart. It said, 'Thank you for keeping the lights on for us all.' Your scene. You have no idea what that meant to me. I was at the end of my rope. That card gave me the courage to keep going. Now, I have stage 4 cancer and no family to take Katie, but she's kind and smart, and I've told her that the world isn't all cold, because once someone proved that to me. You. So, if this letter finds you, please, at least hear her out. Maria Diaz." Elliot's hands trembled slightly. He looked up. Katie was now staring at a pencil holder on his desk, not saying a word. She wasn't crying, just waiting. "I remember that note," he murmured. "That was years ago." Katie sat down in one of the leather chairs like she belonged there. "I don't need anything," she said, "but Mommy said you were a good person." Elliot sat across from her. Something in his chest stirred, something he hadn't felt in a long time. "Where have you been staying, Katie?" "With Miss Darlene, Mommy's friend, but she says she can't keep me much longer." He ran a hand down his face. "This isn't how things work, sweetheart. There are laws, and people who handle this stuff." Katie nodded. "That's okay. I just wanted to tell you that you helped Mommy, that she smiled every time she read that card." Silence filled the space between them. Then something broke. Elliot stood up suddenly, pacing. "You know what? I'm going to help. I don't know how yet, but I will. That's a promise." Over the next few days, things moved fast. Elliot called his legal team, made a visit to Miss Darlene's apartment, met with CPS. He sat with Katie at a diner in Brooklyn over grilled cheese and tomato soup and asked her what her favorite color was. Sky blue. She made him laugh for the first time in months. "You eat the crusts?" he asked. "Nope," she said, defiantly stacking them like building blocks. He started driving her to school, showed up at a parent-teacher meeting, learned she loved math and hated raisins. She asked about his wife once. He didn't answer. But he brought her to the Central Park carousel and let her ride it 3 times in a row. He stood in the cold watching, his coat flapping in the wind, and felt something in his heart flicker back to life. On a snowy afternoon, 2 weeks after she first walked into the office, Katie looked up at him from the passenger seat of his car. "Do you miss her?" He knew who she meant. "Every day," he said. "Mommy said the people we love can live in our heart. That's how we keep them close." He smiled softly. "She sounds very wise." She was, and funny, and she made pancakes that looked like cats. He laughed. "I wish I met her." "You did. You just didn't know it." And that night, Elliot sat alone in his penthouse apartment, holding the crumpled card he once left on a janitor's cart. "You're seen." That's all it said, and yet it had changed everything. A month later, with the help of his team, he filed the papers to become Katie's legal guardian. He didn't do it out of pity or guilt, but because something had cracked open in him. He saw her, she saw him. The boardroom at Thorne Enterprises had never looked brighter than the day Elliot brought her to work again. She wore a little blazer and carried her cartoon lunchbox. "She's not just visiting," he told his stunned staff. "She's part of my family now." And when a reporter later asked him why he did it, Elliot simply replied, "Because one act of kindness changed a life, and then that life came back and changed mine." Have you ever been changed by kindness? Let us know in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else. This story is a work of fiction or dramatized for entertainment purposes. While it may be inspired by real human emotions and events, all characters, names, and situations are either entirely fictional or modified for storytelling. This content fully complies with YouTube's community guidelines and is intended to inspire, not mislead,